So these cards are known as Chromos in French, meaning chromolithographic cards, which were invented. This technique was invented in the middle 19th century. It's a printing technique where each layer of color was printed separately, one after the other. And these chromolithographed images were used as the first advertisements, basically. They come from fashion stores. There is an antique playing card. These are its natural colors. I have not aged it. And there is this elegant original French wine label here. Next, we have an original notarial document with its lovely stamps of 1810. A journaling card with this beautiful lady coming from a magazine, Nos Loisirs. It's an advertisement of the magazine Ephemera. This is an original French perfume or lotion label. And here is the continuation of this advertisement. I have left this edge row like this on purpose to give it more character. There is a fussy cut from a Tassotti gift wrapping paper, which I find it goes well with the image and the colors. Here you have a page from the Almanac Hachette, a beautiful tuck spot of the antique lace of Le Puy. Here there is a handmade journaling card. At the background you can see the paper from an antique writing calligraphy school book. I love the phrase here. It says, pour être aimé, sois bon. In order to be loved, be good. There is also an original lady's photo of the 19th or early 20th century with its photographer stamp. And there is a page from the original French catalogue of the department store Au Bon Marché of 1919-1920. Here is this catalogue, and it would be curious to know that this was the first in the world department store with the currently existent concept. For example, such ideas to which we are really accustomed today were put in place, were invented by its revolutionary owner who invented this store, who put it in place in the middle of the 19th century. For example, the price tags were announced in that store for the first time ever then. Then there were seasonal sales, offers, satisfied or reimbursed concept, and ladies from all over France were coming to apply for posts of sales assistant in this store. In fact, the book that inspired me for creation of this journal, Au Bonheur des Dames, Ladies' Delight, is describing the history of this first French department store, Au Bon Marché. Next, there is an original envelope. It contains a business letter from a cotton weaving and velvet fabrication company of 1948. This is another original page from the magazine No Loisir of the early 20th century, La Mode Élégante. Next, we have a tuck spot here made of an antique checkbook. We will see one of its checks later on, with a nice colorful antique postcard. I wouldn't be able to read the date here. Then we have an original handwritten invoice from a French leather fabricant of 1920. And lastly, there is a handmade journaling card or bookmark with its tiny vintage glass buttons, a lace pocket, and a tiny tag here with some vintage folder paper. Another part of the notarial document. Here there is an envelope written in 1948 by the famous French department store Galerie Lafayette. It can be used as a pocket. Another ledger page. Here there is an antique lace doily. These colors are its natural aging colors. It can be used as a tuck spot where you can put some bookmarks or whatever. Here there is a page from the ledger that we saw before. It can be used as a tuck spot with some stitched around tab. Here there is a sweet fabric pocket with some lace with an original 1896 calendar. A stamp that I find goes well with our subject, some laces. Here there is a page on opera theatre from the Hachette Almanac with some antique laces. Here the topic is continued the prices for different types of seats, different types of tickets for the opera theatre are indicated. There is this lovely discreet fabric ribbon decorations, background roses. This is antique lace, also from the north of France, known as lace of Calais, a gorgeous rose stamp. Here is an extract from a handwritten poetry notebook of the early 20th century. A large envelope attached to this ledger page, and inside I have put this beautiful piece of French ephemera. This is an original bare share of a French gold mine company of 1907. I really like its rich colors, and it contains some watermarks visible against the light. There is also a fiscal stamp on it. Here we have, wait a second, a small paper clip, embellished with a Bohemian glass bead. And this clip is also vintage or antique. It comes from this attache lettres, this box Fabrication Française. Wait a second, not to miss anything. So here there is a lovely small envelope, which is empty, an authentic vintage perfume label. Let me put the paper clip back because I would later forget where it comes from. Here there is a big page of the original jewelry and watches catalog Fabrique Tribaudot de Besançon of 1935. You can see some ladies' rings here. Another original ledger page with some vintage lace. The poetry notebook. This is a page from the 1895 or 1896 diary of the Magasin de Printemps department store. Here you have space for journaling with this exquisite rose stamp, a pocket, and there is an antique postcard which goes well here, and I believe this is another bill of exchange of a dressmaker and tissues fabricant of 1923. Now there is this small partial page from I believe this is the magazine La Mode Illustrée of 1920s, with some gorgeous needlepoint laces here and here. You can see this is a tuck spot, and there is this journaling card or whatever. I must admit that I did a silly error when making this. This is an original perfumed card of Yves Saint Laurent. So when I decorated it with this silk velvet ribbon and fascicles of roses, I have realized that in fact there were two cards stick together. But finally I've decided to keep it like this. I believe it has turned out quite well. And there is an antique empty postcard for journaling. Here there is an authentic holder, I would say, label of the lace of Le Puy. I really adored its colors and I did not want to add anything else. It can be a perfect, unique journaling card. Here there is a page from the Almanac Hachette of 1894. A big tuck spot, and behind we can see an original eau de forme from the department store Maison de la Belle Jardinière, dating 1890s. It is explained in the middle how the measurements should be taken. I find it really very special. Then, this is another page from the jewelry and watches catalog that I mentioned. More ledger page, a sewing machine advertisement from another diary of the department store Maison du Petit Saint-Thomas. Here it is. It is really beautiful. I have used its pages from some other ephemera, which is recognizable by this pattern. Another notarial document. I could not find its date, but as suggested by the stamps here, this document dates back to the period between 1839 and 1845, known as the restoration of the July monarchy period. Here you have some lovely paper, original liquid soap label, and lip balm. Again, you have this authentic paper clip decorated with a Bohemian glass bead, a beautiful roses page, a big pocket with roses, and inside you can find an extract from the book Les 100 plus beaux poèmes, 100 most beautiful poems. And here you have a poem, Les Roses de Saadi, the roses of Saadi. Okay, I will do that later. Here you have an authentic vinegar label. You see it's golden colors. Another label, this is a reproduction on rice paper, a notarial document. An original envelope of a dressmaker dating 1950, and inside I have included a page from the diary of the department store Les Magasins de Printemps, giving details on postal tariffs and prices. Here there is a big pocket made of this gorgeous antique French lace, which is sewn from 3 sides. Let's see what there is inside. An original advertisement card of the department store au Musée de Cluny. It's funny, it contains the date but no year. I just know that it's from early 20th century. You have a lovely lady's portrait of the 19th or early 20th century, and a blank big page from a household ledger. I will show it to you. Here it is. It's les dépenses journalières, daily expenses. And as we can see here, it was printed by the stores Aux Dames de France. And I find it really interesting because here the columns contain all possible details for, I believe, a quite wealthy household to know their expenses, because there is a separate column from payments to employees, then dépenses for le monsieur, le madame, des enfants, etc., etc. I thought it would be fun to use this authentic paper for journaling. Next, we have an original bank check. I would have never imagined a bank check to be so beautiful, of 1930s. A part of it can be detached. In fact, it is already partly detached here. Then there is a pocket made of a fussy cut of a lady's dress model. The image comes from the catalog that I have already shown you of the department store Au Bon Marché of 1919-1920. Behind there is a lovely postcard, original of course, of 1924. And there is an original invoice of a French tannery of 1918. There is another tuck spot here with an original letter from a French shoemaking company of 1922. I really like the colors and the fineness of the paper. Next, there is this page is made of another invoice of I believe, yes, leathers fournisseurs providers for shoemaking, decorated with some antique lace. And by the way, I would like to know that this is its original color. Look here, it is here, the way I purchased it. It's very old indeed. Next, there is a page from the magazine Mode Illustrée of 1927. Another ledger page. Here there is another lace of Puy tuck spot, an original French champagne label, an original embroidered card, which is very old too. I wouldn't be able to see its date. A small handwritten note of 1829, and another French wine label. This background paper comes from the gift wrapping Tassotti paper, all stitched around. Here there is a delicate, fine page from the Almanac Hachette, Le cœur traduit par l'écriture, saying how the handwriting explains the character, the heart. The next page is from the catalog Au Bon Marché, with some lace of Valenciennes. I really enjoy the fineness and the delicacy of these pages. To me, as if this embodied the fragility and preciousness of every moment. Here there's another page of the Almanac Hachette, 1901. This part will be torn apart easily, but I have decided to keep it the way it is. Once apart, it could be used as a bookmark, etc. Here there is a nice small tuck spot with another Chromos. Next we have some rice paper with a dress, a handmade tag, Then some page for journaling from a ledger. Another vintage paper clip with a small charm. An envelope of a manufacturer of working clothes of 1921. It can be used as a pocket. Here is an original French champagne label. Some more laces, and I should underline that again, this is its natural color. I have not aged it artificially. A small tax pot with an authentic vintage card and some page for journaling. Here there is a page taken from the catalog Grand Magasin du Louvre. Wait a second. Yeah, here it is, of 1910. This is a tax pot made of a piece of an old chromolithographic card. Another Chromos. An advertisement of the department store Belle Jardinière. A big vintage fabric pocket, in fact 2 pockets, with an original antique lady's portrait, and an authentic letter from a manufacturer of umbrellas and sun shadows of 1933, I believe. Here there is a lovely antique postcard and a letter of exchange. Yes, a bill of exchange of a French tannery of 1964. Here there are 2 tax pots made of antique laces with an original French lottery ticket of 1946. There is also an antique postcard of 1909, and here there is a big page from the magazine Nos Loisirs of 1907 with an article on the French theatre actress Cécile Sorel, comment Mademoiselle Sorel comprend le théâtre, how Mademoiselle Sorel understands the theatre. Here is her portrait